A bloody tale of two cities in the shadows of the evening, where the ancient cities of Warnholt and Greystone were separated by a mysterious river. A terrifying tale unfolded. Warnholt, with its cobblestone streets and Gothic towers, was a center of old money and even older rivalries. Across the river, Greystone thrived on industry, its smokestack spewing secrets into the sky. The two cities, bound by a fragile peace, shared a blood-stained history of rivalry that began centuries ago over a stolen sacred object, the Crimson Chalice, whose owner was said to rule both cities. Alara Voss, a private investigator in Warnholt, was no stranger to the city's dark side. She had seen many a deception, but she was unprepared for the call that came in the middle of the night. A hoarse voice whispered through the static. "They're killing again. The 40 has awakened." She couldn't ask any more before the line was cut off. The voice belonged to Marcus Kane, a historian from Greystone, who was researching the legendary story of the 40. Alara had met him once at a lecture, where he had spoken with disturbing certainty about cursed objects. She picked up her coat and revolver, the weight of both supporting her against the anxiety rising within her. The fog was thick as she crossed the iron bridge, the only connection between the two cities. In the middle of the bridge, she heard a deep, hideous sound, like a spell echoing from beneath the river. Her flashlight caught nothing but fog. Her heart pounded, but she kept moving. Toward Greystone, where Marcus's apartment awaited her, the door was open, the lock broken. Inside, the air smelled of iron and rot. Marcus lay at his desk, his throat slit, blood pooling on city maps. On the wall was a word written in blood. 40. Ilara's stomach twisted. This was no random murder, this was a message. But to whom? She scanned Marcus's notes, which contained sketches of 40 and a list of names, some of which had been crossed out. One name stood out, Lady Seraphine, a noblewoman from Warnholt rumored to be involved in magical rituals. Marcus made a question mark around her name. Alara pocketed the notes, her senses screaming for her to leave, but footsteps echoed in the hallway. She hid behind a bookcase when two shadows entered, their voices low. "He knew a lot," one said, his tone pure Greystone. "The ritual cannot be stopped now." Then the next number is the investigator. The other replied in a cool, polite voice, the aristocracy of Warnholt. Alara tightened her grip on her revolver. They had been talking about it. She waited until they had left, then slipped out, her mind racing. The ritual, 42 cities, 2 assassins, and she was caught in the middle. She walked back to Warnholt, to Seraphine's palace, a grand house covered in ivy and secrets. There was no guard at the gate, the silence unnatural. Inside, the air was heavy with the scent of incense, and the candles flickered in such a pattern that her skin turned pale. In the center of a great hall, a crimson 40th gleamed faintly on a pedestal. Seraphine emerged from the shadows, her smile sharp as a sword. "You are very stubborn, Miss Voss," Seraphine said softly, "but you're too late. The chalice needs blood, and the cities will bow." Alara raised her gun, but the floor shook, and the echo from the river began again, louder, echoing in her bones. Shadows moved to the invaders of Greystone, their swords flashing. Seraphine laughed, madness in her eyes. "The enmity will end tonight. A city will rise." Alara jumped as a sword struck, her mind connecting everything. The chalice was not just a sacred object. It was a resource, drawing on blood to free something ancient. Marcus had been close to exposing it, and now it was the last loose end. He fired, one invader fell, but more came. The echo deepened, the chalice glowing red. He had seconds. Picking up a candlestick, he smashed the chalice, shattering it into pieces. The echo stopped, but Seraphine's scream echoed. "You destroyed us all," she shouted, charging. Alara fired again, and Seraphine fell, blood pooling like Marcus. The attackers stopped, then fled. Silence returned, but Alara knew it was not over. The city's enmity ran deeper than 40, and something still stirred in the depths of the river. She staggered out into the night, the sins of both cities on her shoulders, wondering what she had freed and what would follow.